gamers, and welcome to episode 322 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
We had some warm weather. We had some spring weather this week, man.
Yeah.
Yesterday was really warm. But I mean, it's not consistent. Usually around this time, we'll get some warm weather. Then you might get some cool weather. But spring is coming. I see some buds growing on the trees.
Oh yeah, I've got flowers out here like fully in bloom. I'm like, guys, it's maybe a little too early for you. Calm down.
Yeah, but then later on, you're gonna hear a lot of buzzing, a lot of cicada buzzing.
Yep. Can't wait to start eating cicadas this year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so they said, somebody says a delicacy. I don't know who those people are. I mean, that's on the news. I was like, oh, you bunch of weirdos. You're people that eat anything. They're probably people that eat anything. Damn it. Shit. It's like everything's a delicacy.
Or something, Dominic.
Yeah. I just want to know, do we need the cicadas? Are they needed? They only come every 17 years. Is there a way just to kill them all? Just say, look, man, y'all are just annoying. Y'all just an annoyance.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with this genocide that you're trying to talk about, Dominic.
Too much. Man,
you're right. They just get in the way,
What kind of life are they living, Dan? I feel like we're doing them a favor. All they do is come out, have sex, and die, and then they just stay in the ground forever. What they doing down there?
Now I'm back on board with this.
Like, they just go down there and I guess they just break out the egg in their larva state, and I guess it just takes a very long time, but then they come back up again.
Yeah.
Just to fuck it. I mean, what kind of life is that? That's not a life. That's not a good life. I mean, I guess the only good thing about this is for all the birds who are lucky to be alive around this time.
It's a delicacy. There you go.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, this is a buffet. An easy buffet. Oh man, she don't like the cicadas, does she?
No, she doesn't. It's not like the cicadas
at all. She don't even know about them yet.
She hasn't even seen them yet.
I know.
She is not prepared for what's about to come.
But yeah, they get the lucky buffet that happens. They get to be here for that. It's like their ancestors had told them, say, oh, there was a time, and 17 years ago, it's just, all these bugs has come out, man, and I say my great-great-grandma told me about that, Tom. I mean, you might be able to live to see it. What else we got here? I know sports, March Madness. None of my teams won. Maryland, Georgetown, Virginia.
Yeah.
Well, not Virginia. Not Virginia so much, but VCU. I was rooting for VCU to do something, but VCU lost because they had COVID, so they didn't even get a chance to play. So they were I think they were the only team so far that has had COVID and that had to drop out actually during the tournament. So that was sad for those guys. I know she's sad for VCU too, man. I know.
Extremely sad.
Yeah. So, other than that, I mean, I guess you could root, there's been a lot of Cinderella, so I guess you could root for Loyola Chicago because of Sister Mary Frances, which I always hearing about her. Cause 2 years ago, I remember she's like this old nun, and I think they went to the Final Four, right? I believe 2 years ago, and they were like a big Cinderella seed. Now they beat one of the number one seeds, Illinois. So that was kind of like interstate. Well, that's not really interstate rival because I don't think they play each other much, but it is like Illinois is the big school, and then they're just a small school and they upset them. So now they're in the Sweet 16. They have Oral Roberts of Ned Flanders School. They're in the Sweet 16, number 15 seed here. Nice. Man, these religious schools, man. I don't know what's going on. Like these religious schools are just, see, it's not fair. It's not fair because God graced them and then they helped them out, man. And he try to help.
They put in the work, though, Dominic. They pray every day.
Yeah, I know. Damn it. And Sister Mary Frances even said that I do pray for both teams, but I pray harder for one team more than for one team. I say, oh, you, Sister Mary Frances, you screwed my bracket up. You messed my bracket up. I had no chance of winning anything. You and Oral Roberts too. They just messed it up, everything. I was like, damn it. Like, my bracket is just I had Gonzaga play Illinois. So Illinois gone. It just messes up everything. God damn it. Even with the brackets I did where I wasn't serious, like, okay, I got a chance in these because there's actually done well. I think Oral Roberts messed me up. And so the chances of me winning are slim to none of winning anything. I doubt if I'll win any of those brackets, those little contests. So I haven't seen anybody who had 100%, at least on ESPN site. There's nobody on ESPN site who has 100% right, so far. Which is, it's not really amazing. It's like for years now, cause it's just so hard to tell, man. It's just so hard. People put even though people put so many brackets in, like individuals, you can put it, I don't know what the limit is, but nobody can still get 100% right, man.
Cause got an algorithm running every possible way this could go.
Yeah, but I think it's really, the algorithm is like so huge now. I mean, it's just so much. It's just ridiculous because they added, 68 teams instead of 64, and now teams are better. I mean, back in the day, it was almost chalk. You just go for the higher seed. You might be a little confusing with 7 and 10. 7 and 10 seed, you might lose out. Maybe even 11 and 6, but now it's like, man, you don't know, man. It's like these teams, they can go on. It's only one game. All right, let's move on. A lot of trade stuff happened in NBA. I don't even talk about it. I mean, the Wizards, we still suck, unfortunately. I mean, we got two great players. We got 2 good players on the team.
Okay.
No, we didn't get them. We already had them. Okay. We already had them. Yeah, Russell Westbrook.
But you didn't give them away, so that's a win, right?
I guess. Yeah, it is a win for me because it's like I got something to watch.
Not for them, of course.
No, it's a win for me because I got something to watch. But it's just, I felt kind of bad because I was like, yo, y'all, what a waste of this good talent to be on this damn team. Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, like the best players up there, and there was a couple games where they had a chance to win and just blew it. It sucks. Other than that, football is probably some football news. I just don't know. But yeah, yes, we can just move on. Any big wrestling news happen?
They had a pay-per-view last weekend, the Fastlane one. It wasn't particularly great, but now it seems like they're getting Daniel Bryan involved in the match between Roman Reigns and Edge, which makes it far more interesting for me because I'm not a huge fan of Edge. And just the story between him and Roman Reigns is
You're more of a Christian fan, right?
Yeah, exactly. AEW superstar Christian.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I liked them back when it was Edge and Christian and they were fighting the Hardy Boys and stuff, but I was never really around for any of their singles runs and when Edge was the rated R superstar and got, enormous basically. So I just don't have the same affinity for him that some people do. And, Roman's just been doing such a great job with this heel character that I didn't want them to bring in Edge and have him win just because he's Edge. And I don't know. I think it's also like almost to the day, the exact anniversary of when he had to retire or something. So like the story's there, but I just didn't want it to be against Edge or against Roman rather. And now it seems like maybe the reason they're putting Daniel Bryan in there is to take the pin from Edge so that they can take the belt off of Roman without, having him actually take a pin. So I don't know.
Yeah. Hold on. I was trying to think. I had a question. Yeah, Fastlane. Like what? I remember Fastlane, but where'd that name come from? Why they call it that?
I think it started because they were like, we're on the fast road or fast lane to WrestleMania, like that kind of, they use the road to WrestleMania nomenclature. So I think like fast lane was like, we're going to call it this because we're moving towards WrestleMania. Cause it's always kind of been like right in the middle, right before WrestleMania. So usually things of consequence don't really happen there. So it's basically like, don't even think about this pay-per-view. It's the fast lane. We're going to skip right over it.
So WrestleMania is next month?
Yeah, it is. I want to say it's the 13th or 14th. Well, it's 2 nights this year again.
Oh, it's 2 nights? Okay.
Yeah, they're going to be doing it at Raymond James Stadium like they were supposed to last year. There's actually going to be fans in attendance, so this is going to be the first time.
Oh, so this is Tampa Bay, in Tampa Bay?
Yep. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, because of course fans going to be there because the Florida is open, baby. You saw
basically
spring break, those spring break photos, man.
I mean, haven't,
good God.
but I've heard.
Oh.
I've heard
videos?
about it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see them back in front of fans again, but also since they introduced like the Thunderdome thing with video screens around and pumped in crowd noise, like it's been fine. Like the empty arena stuff they were doing right at the beginning of the year where there was no sound whatsoever except the wrestlers was just awkward. That's why at the beginning AEW, it seemed like they handled it a lot better because they had other wrestlers in the crowd, so they were at least making a little bit of noise. But then at WrestleMania last year, was that where they did Edge versus Randy Orton? Whenever they did that and they pumped in sound, I was like, this is what they should be doing the entire time. This is just a television show. They can do all that. They can add all the effects that they want because there's no one there. You know, they can pre-tape stuff, basically. You don't have to worry about the live crowd. And they've been taking advantage of that stuff with the Fiend, Randy Orton, Alexa Bliss kind of angle they're doing right now. Cause Randy Orton set the Fiend on fire and he's been gone for months and months and he finally returned on Sunday cause Alexa Bliss is now like sort of possessed by the Fiend or something like that. Like she's a demonic character. So she's been kind of doing the heavy lifting with Randy Orton in the feud, and they had a match, quote unquote, on Sunday, which was basically like her throwing fireballs at him and having lighting rigs drop near his area and stuff like that until the Fiend came out from under the ring.
Fireballs? Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, they've done that stuff in wrestling before. It's called like flash paper or something like that. It basically creates like a big kind of fireball looking thing and you throw it at somebody.
Oh, I'm thinking like, man, Dragon Ball Z shit.
No, not quite that. Unfortunately, they haven't gone like that far with it. That's the only thing, like, I don't really want them to go back to being in front of crowds because stuff like Lucha Underground, even Lucha Underground wasn't that sensational. But like, it could be a lot of fun if they just completely leaned into the absurd and went the direction of like, oh, we can Photoshop in fire and, you know, stuff like that. Make somebody turn into Sub-Zero and be shooting ice balls. Speaking of though, Kofi and Xavier Woods right now have very, very good, Sub-Zero and Scorpion ring attire that they debuted a couple of weeks ago. So that's fun.
Man, so do they have a deal with like WB or something?
Well, they don't use any of the logos. Like they replaced the dragon logo with a unicorn logo in the same style. So I don't think they've gotten quite to the point where it's, you know, suable, I guess, but Xavier Woods is working for G4 now, so like he has their logo on some of his attire and stuff too.
I mean, is G4 started yet?
I don't think it's officially started. I think they've done like a thing here or there, but I don't think like the channel's officially back.
I was about to say, like the channel. Is that going to be a cable station or an app?
I don't know. I feel like you could get away with just that thing being a Twitch channel, to be honest with you, right? Or like a YouTube thing. I think they'd probably be better off that way. Like then you aren't expecting the production value to be quite as high maybe, so you can set expectations a little lower and then exceed them a lot easier.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of where wrestling is right now.
All right. So I guess we get to what we've been watching. So I only watched the one episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. So the first one, and I enjoyed it. It was a good show. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, I like the arc. They were going with him not accepting the shield at first. I think that's a good arc, and maybe he'll want to get it, at the end. Maybe by the end of the series, he's like, okay, I will take up the mantle. I will stop being a bitch and take up the mantle. of being a Captain America and not be scared of the responsibility. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm calling him a bitch. Anyway, the only thing I didn't like is the whole thing with him not, like, he has a sister and these two nephews who were babies when when he was, before the whole everybody's disappearing thing happened. and so now his sister's got in trouble, some money trouble, because of it's hard to keep the business going. She has a business where I think it's like a fishing business, and they have a ship in the family that their parents had, but she has to sell it most likely because they're not making enough money. So he said he can get a loan, but he can't get a loan because of financial reasons. And I'm just thinking that for someone like him, it felt like it shouldn't be a problem for him to get that ship paid for and take care of it. I feel like I understand what they're trying to go for, the whole, like, all the struggles of being who they are. I think it's some racial thing with it also too. Trying to show some struggles with that, with banks, and also the struggles of him being gone for so long, and so she had to struggle for those 5 years too, or by herself raising kids. And I was like, yeah, but I feel like he's a hero, like a known hero. He's not like a Spider-Man who's maxed, or like all those masked heroes. And then he worked for basically the government. I feel like this is a compensation for that.
Yeah, he should have been getting paid.
That should help out. Yeah, that. And I
Honestly, I was a little surprised that they went for a loan. Like, I thought when he was saying, like, he was going to help out, he just had the money to help out because he's a superhero, right? And then they kind of go in the direction of, oh, well, he's been gone for 5 years. And also it sounds like, you know, Tony Stark wasn't necessarily paying them to be an Avenger. And also, would it really be Tony's job to pay them? But, I mean, I guess technically, originally they weren't part of the government. But then under the Sokovia Accords, they should have been getting paid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If they signed them. Of course, he didn't sign them, I guess. So maybe that's why.
Oh, that's true. But I feel like it should be easy to get help. It should be easy for him to get help with this. Well, what he is. He's like a known hero who's out there. And there should have been some kind of government act or something to compensate for people who's been on a blip with businesses. Yeah. I mean, the banks do, the guy did explain that because of this, there's been a lot of people coming back. So it's been a whole, but I feel like the government, like by now, should have something in place, or things even like business would be on hold. Like things would be hold, like you don't have to sell in something. But I feel like for him specifically, like he should be in a place where his family doesn't have to do that, or of that nature. I don't know.
Especially now that he's working for the government, because he did say when they were trying to get the loan, like he's got government contracts and this, that, and the other thing. So yeah, it definitely seems weird that they're doing that. Like I see where they're trying to go. Like they're trying to explore race in a different way than they have in the MCU in this series, and you'll see a little more of that in the second episode. And I think it'll be an overall theme of the series. I mean, I think, and maybe this is just me projecting what I'd like to see, but basically he gave up the shield because he saw it as like the US didn't want a guy like him as Captain America, right? And that's why they bring in this new guy, this white dude.
Yeah, at the end they showed that off on that. Yeah.
And
I was like, what?
Maybe he comes to grips with that and says, you know, like, hey, it's not their choice. This is about what, I want and what the country wants, and they want a black Captain America.
So yeah, I guess, we'll see how they go with that. But that's, other than that, the show was great. Going with Bucky, trying to go through, try to get through his past, like he's going through therapy and try to, do, what's the word for it?
Like make amends.
Amends, yeah. And to the people he's hurt because of when he was being controlled by Hydra. I think that's a good storyline to go with on that too. Because it's something that does take a toll. Realistically, it would.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, honestly, some things I'm okay with moving forward and just people being mad about it, but I won't be mad about it. Like, if they were to move forward with that, like, okay, he just got over it, I will be okay with that. Because I kind of don't want to keep dwelling on it, to be honest with you.
I wonder how long they go on that, because the second episode doesn't ignore that stuff, but it moves past it a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it, but I was like, well, this can go on forever. Because realistically, he's not supposed to really get over it. But right. I was kind of like, yeah, but I kind of want to move on. I want to move on. But yeah, it's so far, it's a series I want to keep watching. So that's why I like, it's a pretty good job with that.
Yeah.
That's like the starting point with that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you got anything else you want to say about it?
I think I talked about it a little bit last week or with you that they do a good job of balancing the action and kind of the slower, more emotional beat stuff.
Yes, they do.
And they keep that up in the second episode. There's fun set pieces that they do, but there's also a little more depth to it than just that. So I really like that.
Yeah, though I complain about WandaVision because I said it started out slow and didn't get enough action. It's not that I want action all the time, but I definitely don't want a downtime a lot either.
Yeah. I
don't want neither one a lot because more action just gets boring too. Mm-hmm. So, I just want a good balance. And Wanda, overall is a good series to me. That's the thing. Like, if I look at overall, I just said it starts out slow because I don't know where's it going to go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how was it going to go. Cause I was scared, like, oh damn, is each episode just going to be like just going through different periods of television?
Mm-hmm.
Which it kind of did, but not to a point where I got bored.
Yeah.
So
that one might have benefited a little more from being bingeable, like having all the episodes just be out at the same time.
And plus, but also it helped them, though it wasn't bingeable. The first two were, so it did speed up because I was thinking if you waited for 3 weeks of just watching one, I don't know, man.
And that's why I think that's part of why they dumped the first 2 episodes to kind of at least get it moving a little bit quicker than it would have.
Yeah, that definitely, I think that definitely felt like a series that should have been like, hey, have it all at once. But I know the reasons why they do this. But Netflix still hasn't done that yet, right? They still just put all the episodes out on their show.
I feel like maybe they've had a series or two where they've done that, but maybe I'm just thinking more of like when they were doing like the Chelsea Handler like nightly, weekly show or something.
That's the only ones I could think of.
Yeah,
something like that. Because all the known shows I know of, they've all been out there. Like, you always do that shit. You're like, oh, this is season 1, part 1 or something. When you might as well just call it season 1. I always hate that.
Yeah.
When they do that. Anyway, what else I watched? Oh yes, I've watched the Justice League Snyder Cut. And it was alright. And now, when I watched the original one, I didn't go to the theaters to see that. I saw that at home, and I had that on in the background. I didn't sit down and watch it. So, cause I just wasn't really into it. So I don't remember much. So I can't really say what was new and what wasn't. I have to go online or something where people actually break down what was the new stuff. Like, I can't remember everything on top of my head from the original one, cause I didn't really sit down and watch it to get into it. Cause I didn't really care to watch it. I'm gonna admit it, I think I probably watched the bootleg, honestly. I think that's how I only watched it. So, cause after Batman versus Superman, I was like, man, I did not like that movie. So and then when I saw the reviews for Justice League, I was like, oh, they ain't that great. So I was like, this ain't really worth probably watching. So, but watching this and the way I watched it, like I broke it down, like I might watch a chapter or maybe 2 chapters a day or something. Mm-hmm. I think it's like 7 chapters plus an epilogue, maybe 7 or 6 chapters, something like that. Watching it like that made it more enjoyable for me. I did enjoy it. It's not great or anything, but I do feel like I got to know the characters more. There's more development for the characters. Now, I think the dark side scene was new, like showing him fight the other beings. I'm not sure.
Like the old people.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to say that's new. Cause I don't remember seeing that, but I think they made Snyder made Darkseid a little too weak in that. The spoiler alert if you didn't see, but it's like a scene where, like, you don't mind if I say anything, do you?
No, I've already seen a lot of the stuff. Like Red Letter Media actually does a really good job of breaking down what was new and old between the two.
Oh, okay.
And I've watched
some
of that.
Yeah, I saw they said that. I didn't watch that yet. Oh, so is that worth watching?
Yeah, it's enjoyable. They do a good job of breaking that stuff down. It's not, they actually liked it, a decent amount. Wow. So it's not.
Wow. That is crazy.
So it's not one of their like scathing kind of, some of their stuff is a lot more enjoyable when they don't like stuff. So, but I think they do a good job of exploring it and kind of pointing out what is new and what is old about, what's changed.
I might have to check that out then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think they made Darkseid a little weak in that though. Cause it made like Ares went in there and just chopped him. And then everybody got in and got him. I wish that there was a different way of him being defeated at that moment. Because I feel like, cause Darkseid is known as one of the most powerful DC villains out there, that I feel like it should have been something that surprised him more so than them just all be able to gang up on him. Because to me, it feels like, okay, Ares got in, didn't get hurt really, and got his axe into him. Wonder Woman beat Ares. So that means Wonder Woman has a good chance of doing some damage to him. And the other guys can easily probably just help beat him up too then. Yeah. Superman and them.
Do they try and explain that away at all by saying like this is a younger, more inexperienced Darkseid or anything like that? Like his powers
that's
have grown
something I
since then?
say, but that's me trying to make sense of it. Not them telling me. Like that's like me when I always try to make sense of like, I remember always use this logic because it's something as a kid I used to do with Flintstones. Cause I think it was my dad. He always said, oh, this show is horribly made or something like that. Cause why isn't he using his feet anymore when he's driving? They used to use your feet to move the car or something like that. That's it. I always said like, because he used it and now they got momentum. Well, I didn't say momentum as a kid, but whatever the word I said. I said they use momentum and now they're just rolling. But really, they just weren't going to draw. They ain't want to draw the feet. That's what it was. They're just gonna show the car moving, even though it don't make any fucking sense that it's moving. But that's what I'm like did here. I'm just using the excuse of, okay, Darkseid, he's much younger, but I don't think that. But logically, like he's a god, so really it's really not that long ago. Even though it's a very long time for us ago when he came to Earth, it's really not that long ago for him.
Right.
Like how much more experience he gonna need? And I think he's destroyed other worlds and shit, and he's a god. He's a new god. But I don't know. I think they made that scene a little, they should have made it tougher. Like, they should have shown him, like, beat the hell out of these guys, and then, like I said, something surprising happened to him, like it got him off guard. And that's why he got defeated or something. But they made it like they kind of just went in, and, I mean, He did kill a Green Lantern, so I give it that. Like, he did kill one.
Oh, that's cool. So they have a Green Lantern in there?
Yeah.
Not the Green Lantern necessarily, but a Green Lantern.
Yeah, a Green Lantern. And so it I don't know. I think that's the only thing that's the only problem I had really with that scene anyway, with Darkseid. Cause even though if you take that out, he's menacing. Like, but I know him, so it's like, okay, he's still the big bad. Because just at the way they struggle with Steppenwolf, I'm like, Steppenwolf, like, he having a better time than what Darkseid did. But I guess I have to make this, maybe I have to say, hey, look, Darkseid was inexperienced. I don't know. But it just doesn't, it seems like he's been around for a while. So I'm like, I don't know about inexperience. But it does. Now I kind of wish that there were other movies coming where I can see Darkseid and his other minions. Like you saw Granny Goodness in there, like just standing there. You saw Desaad. So it's interesting that, man, I would love that there was something. But you know what? I'm okay if no movie happens. As long as they do the cartoon movies with it, it's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, they developed the characters a lot better in this version that I appreciated more. It's well done. Like, it's a well done movie. I do like what they, like how this cut was. It's a long fucking movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're willing to sit there and watch all in one day, good for you. But, I mean, I watch it in like a TV show. Cause it seemed like each chapter was almost like 30 minutes. So,
it's nice that they give you kind of a natural break. Like, okay, we're gonna, give you a title card or something so you can step away without feeling, I don't want to say guilt, cause like whatever, but without thinking about it too much. Like, should I stop now? Maybe there's something that's about to happen. It just kind of lets you go, okay, they're going to pause it for a second. Maybe I turn it off and come back tomorrow when it's not 2:00 in the morning now because I've been watching this fucking thing forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
I guess we could talk about the Suicide Squad trailer.
Yeah.
That came out. So what you think about it, man?
I enjoyed it a lot. It feels very much like Guardians of the Galaxy coming from James Gunn. It has a similar kind of vibe to it to me. Kind of the witty banter between.
Yeah. That fits with this. It seemed like that's what it should be. This Suicide Squad needs to be that. It seemed like the other one was trying to be that.
Exactly.
But it just didn't
seemed like
achieve
they
it.
were trying, but it just wasn't working very well. And this one, just from the trailer, it appears to be a lot more fun. And that's what's interesting about that original one is, like, apparently it wasn't that much fun to begin with. And then after people saw the trailer, which I guess maybe emphasized a little bit more of the fun, people were like, oh shit, we should make this more fun. And, that's why they're like, oh, we should get the whatever cut of Suicide Squad now, which I've always contended, like, it's not a great movie, but I think it was one of the more enjoyables from the DC movies, for me at least.
From the early, I say I don't even know how to divide it. I guess
ones, I would say, probably.
Pre-Shazam for me. I'll say it like that.
Yeah.
Like, from pre-Shazam movies, I liked, Wonder Woman. Pre-Wonder Woman, maybe. I don't know. Probably pre-Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to
yeah. So, you have, I liked Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. I like Suicide Squad. The other movies I did not really like. The other movies I didn't like. So I only like Wonder Woman. Like, I like Wonder Woman. It seemed like that's when things were getting a little bit better. Mm-hmm. I like Shazam. I really enjoyed that. And I did enjoy Aquaman. Yeah, those are the movies. I didn't like the first original Justice League. I didn't like Batman vs. Superman. Mm-hmm. Like I said, Suicide Squad. I think I like Man of Steel better than Suicide Squad, though. I think I
do too, for the most part.
Yeah, I think I like Man of Steel better than Suicide. I think Suicide Squad, it seemed like I had a little more hope, I think, after seeing that. I say, okay, maybe they can get better. Mm-hmm. It's like, this was a great, better, but then, I forget when that came out before Justice League, right? So, I'm like, then Justice League wasn't that great. It's like, man, I don't know what's the hell's going to happen. Based on this new trailer, what is this called?
I was thinking about that earlier. I think it's just called Suicide Squad again. So I guess Suicide Squad 2021 is how it'll be referenced, or maybe James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I don't know.
Yeah, this looks fun, and I'm glad they brought other people back. Like, they brought back Amanda Waller. They brought the same woman who played her. Why am I forgetting her name?
Viola Davis?
Viola Davis, yeah. They brought back the guy who played Rick Flag. Mm. Of course, Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So then they got these other new guys. But it does, it looks like this could be a whole lot of fun and a whole lot of crazy.
There's a shit ton of people. It feels like they're gonna kill a lot of people in this movie.
Oh yeah. And I think, is that Starro?
I don't know.
That big star monster you see at the end?
Oh, when they're like, oh, we got a kaiju. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Cause you know what Starro is, right?
I don't.
Okay. Starro is, a big star monster, and it also has little stars, and they get on your face and they control you.
Oh shit.
It's like one of the most powerful villains in the, DC universe.
Okay.
It's like an alien thing. Like it'll they'll put the stars, get on your face, and it'll control your body.
Yeah, I would say looking at this thing, that looks like what they're going for in this. Also, the Wikipedia says
it says Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Kaiju Starfish. Who the heck is Starro? I think I think Starro's gonna be it. That's crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's cool that they're actually using like something real like that. Like, it's obscure villain to regular people, but at least it's a known villain. I like when they do things like that. So it introduces more of the DC comic book stuff to regular folks.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say about Suicide Squad trailer?
No, just looks promising. I'm excited to have it come out on HBO Max. I'll probably sign up again around that time. I think it's August, right? Something like that. Yeah,
sometime in the summer. And so Disney, they said they're bringing, whatchamacallit to Disney Plus Premium.
Yeah, to Black Widow got delayed to July, and it's gonna also be in theaters and on Disney Plus as a $30 add-on thing, like Ryu and the other one.
I think that's still, I don't know, man. I think they really come on, Disney.
Oh, it's weird for me because it's like, one, if you're going to put it on Disney Plus, why can't you just release it when you were planning on releasing it? I don't know if it just gives them more time for Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi was supposed to come out in July and now I think it's September. But I wonder if COVID messed up its production, so they're just like, oh, we'll push this stuff back. We got shows on right now because after Winter Soldier and Falcon, you have Loki, and then I think the What If series is after that. So I'm wondering if they're just kind of buying time instead of actually needing to delay Black Widow, because Black Widow has been done and filmed and finished for a year and a half now, so doesn't seem like there's any real reason they needed to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I forgot to mention, I watched some of it, though. I haven't watched it all. That Invincible show is out on Amazon.
Oh, is it? Okay. How's that so far?
Yeah, it's alright. It's an hour-long cartoon. I don't know if that's just for the first episode or what.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the animation is not great. I mean, it's fine, but it's just not a lot of movement. You know, you know they wouldn't cheat with it. But the show, I mean, so far it seems okay. It's tamed. It's not, even though it is, I think, one of those rated M shows or whatever, but I haven't seen anything too bloody or sexual yet.
Gotcha.
So far it's pretty tamed. I thought I was gonna see, oh man, I saw people killed or something like that. Oh man, it's gonna get bloody or something. Nah, and all the heroes saved the people one time. I was like, okay. All right, I was expecting to feel oh god, this is going to get really dangerous, but nah. So far, it's pretty tame. It seems pretty tame so far. I'll see where it goes, because I really don't know about this comic. I know it's been done by Walking Dead. They got some Walking Dead actors talking for these people. Amazon has a some type thing on their app now where it has notes where if you hit something, I was looking at it on my tablet.
Oh yeah, the X-ray stuff, I think it's called.
It will say hey, trivia, in this scene, blah 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 blah, and this scene, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, I didn't know it did that. I knew it.
Video for the new age, Dominic.
And yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting, because that's when I saw all the superheroes are spoken by former or current Walking Dead actors and stuff like that. And that this high school was named after an actor who played in Family Matters, and it was purposely done that. I said, what? Why? I forgot who it was. What's the name? Give it the R. I forgot who it was. What is Steve Urkel's? But his real name is...
No, it's White. Something White.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm about to say, it wasn't that, because I would have recognized it. I was like, I don't know this other... But anyway... yeah, I gotta watch it. Some more. You should check it out, since you got Amazon Prime.
I'll have to put it on my list to remember.
Yeah, put right on your list now.
Right now.
Yeah, it's just... All right, so I guess we get to what we've been playing. So I'll start off while you run your list. I played some more Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yeah, it's a lot of changes with this game compared to what the original was. Jessie from the original, who was part of Avalanche, she is very thirsty for Cloud. Like, it is very uncomfortable, because I'm like, look, man, I'm a Tifa man. Yeah. I'm not. You need to back off a bit. Just tone it down, lady. This down girl. Like, put some ice water on her or something. I don't know. I mean, good God, this little girl is thirsty. It's these things that look like Dementors from Harry Potter.
Oh, really?
Who float around and do shit in this game that I don't know what they supposed to be. I don't have a feeling they're probably part of Sephiroth or something, but I wonder why they chose this. Like, why these weird things are happening. I don't remember these things happening. I mean, it wasn't in the original game. Like, why they chose to have these things happening now. First I thought it was just dreams. It looked like it was, like, oh, he just seeing them. But then one time they were attacking the whole Sector 7 area they were living in, where Seventh Heaven was, and then they had to fight them, and it was like, yo, what is this? Other than that, I mean, it's like, they really just made the first part of Final Fantasy very long. Like, they added a lot of stuff to make it that you're just still in the city. So, I just got to the point where we're about to go to the second reactor, and I played I messed up my time. I left my game on by accident, and it does pause the time at a certain point in a pause menu, but I didn't pause it. I forgot. So I got subtract about some hours. So maybe I only played I think I played less than 10 hours, maybe. Maybe it's like 6 hours to 7, maybe 8 hours of the game, I think. But I say 8. I say 8 hours of the game. And I'm just getting to the second reactor. It don't take that long to get a second reactor in the original game. Because you got some side quests I did, and there was even another quest where before you even go to second reactor, you help Jessie steal a Shenhua card to sneak in the base to get some bombs to use for the next mission. And you meet her family. Well, you don't really meet her because you're standing outside because you have to steal the Shenhua card it was her dad's, because he used to work for Shenhua. And while she distracted them, her, Biggs, Wedge, and Jessie are having dinner and stuff. And it's like, I do like that you get to know those characters more.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking like, damn, I'm really gonna feel sad when they die now. Shit. Because now I'm really getting to know them.
Expendable in the original.
Exactly. So I'm like, man, now I'm really getting to know these guys. And I'm like, oh, man, y'all, I'm going to feel really sad when y'all go. Wish I could tell y'all now. So you're going to die. You're going to die. But it's better than what I thought, actually. This game is better than what I thought. Still, the dialogue is a little cringy to me because it's just the way they write this stuff for those Final Fantasy games. It's a little cringy, but it's better than what I thought it was. There's still some things that just don't make sense with the dialogue because people always blame it in translation, but I don't know. If I put in Japanese and see subtitles, it still wouldn't make much sense. Like, it still wouldn't make sense to me. So, but other than that, the gameplay, I had to put it on tactics mode, which is, it automatically puts on easy mode because they didn't put that patch in, which it might just be the patch for the next gen. I don't know. When they supposed to put the patch in for tactics mode to be on normal, not just automatically be on easy. It's not like that right now. Which I don't think that makes sense. Cause that could be easily done for this gen.
Feels like it would be able to.
Yeah. unless they make an excuse for that. The only thing for new gen is the Yuffie stuff. That's not gonna. I believe that's not gonna be current gen. I think that's just the new gen thing, which I think that kind of sucks too.
Definitely.
Yeah, that does suck because they can do it.
Progress has to carry over, right? You're like your saves and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, about that,
it's something we gotta talk
like
about that. I thank you for saying that because it reminds me of a game which I'll think on the break over, so remember to talk about it. But anyway, but other like that, the game I had to put on tactics mode because it wasn't really difficult. Just that I don't know where the blocks. I can't see the camera angles because some people attack me from behind, so I don't know how to block them. And so I'm just dodging all the time. And also watching out for my partner because either she or whoever I switch to, if I switch to Tifa or vice versa, she's getting hurt or he's getting hurt. And that's like, oh God, I got to worry about them because they're not automatically healing themselves.
Right.
That's the thing. So that's the problem I always have. So I was like, well, I have to put on tactics mode because I can't keep worrying about them, keep dying because they're losing. I never used more health in my life in the original Final Fantasy, like at the beginning stages. Like, I'm using potions like crazy in this game. So I said, fuck it, man. I'll put on tactics mode. At least to make it easier. I mean, for me to manage the team. But it also makes the game easier. But unfortunately, it's going to have to be because I don't want to keep I'm using potions way too much, man. I got to keep buying potions. I can never use it to buy my weapons. So it's like, come on. So that's what I did. Like, the battle system like that, it's okay. I just wish they would have made it easier because even on Kingdom Hearts, it's a third-person action game because it's not truly. That's the problem with Final Fantasy. They try to meld the two. When I think there should just be, if they want to do two modes. Have it tactics mode and purely third-person action. Don't try to. I don't like the melding of third-person action and tactics together. I think it should just be a third-person action game where I can just dodge, and the camera works around, and they take care of themselves. Whoever I'm not controlling, they can manage to heal themselves. I don't, because I'm looking at the menus, I don't see the option, because you can, in Kingdom Hearts, you had an option to tell Goofy or Donald, hey, if you get a certain, below a certain HP, you heal yourself. You can set it to that.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, you can do this, or heal me.
I was going to say, it'd be nice if you have, like, Aerith in there and have her heal you, too, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yes, but I didn't see that in the menus. Maybe I'm missing it. I'll check it again. But I didn't see that, how to manage that, because I had to keep worrying about them, because sometimes I see them dead. I was like, oh, darn, they couldn't do nothing. Being say they didn't heal themselves. So, yeah, but I am enjoying it. Like, I really want to go through this game. I am enjoying it. I'm trying to think what I had put this in my top 10. Not yet. I'll wait till the finish saying, because, from my, top 10, my fake top 10, whatever, I didn't have this game up there.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, will this, but so far I'm playing, I'm liking it, but we'll see. We'll see if I would put it up there or not, replace it with something. What else I play? I played some more Hades. I did beat Hades again. So I think I beat him about 2 more times now, but it's still a lot of story to go through.
Oh, okay.
And I've been fixing up the base. Well, it's not really a base. It's my home area, I guess. Like where Hades' office is, where my room and stuff like that, the lounge area. Like, you collect these gems that you can use to fix it up. And it creates some other story elements to it. Yeah, I'm just going through that. I really want to see where the story goes. This also, you could do like love interests in this game. Like, either that could be with Medusa, which is like a Medusa. It's just a head Medusa. Like, there's different Dusas, and she's just one. She's like a maid, but you can have a relationship with her apparently. But I don't want to. So I just want to be friends with her. So I just stopped. I stopped giving her stuff. But I did want to be with. I said I'll probably just choose to do one with Megara, one of the Furies, because apparently we did have a relationship together, and I think I'm at the point where I can go a little further and see what happens with that.
Nice.
But I like that you can. And I think you can do that with also. It's not just with females. You can do it with males too. I think Achilles you can have a relationship with. I think they said whatever. It just seemed like all those Greek men were just bisexuals, back in the day. I mean, come on, they had those penis statues. Come on. But yeah. So, but I do like the stories they have. They're even little individual stories, not just his overall stories, but with the other characters too. Like, yeah, they did a really good job with this game, with this dungeon crawler. Like, I want more like this, like dungeon crawler roguelite games, but with a strong story element. Like, I like that. That really makes me come back to this game even more so than even Neon Abyss. I mean, but there's still, if this game didn't have the story, the gameplay is still good enough to be just like those other roguelite games. Like, it still has the hook with that. So that's just how incredible this game is that they just added an element that they probably didn't have to. They probably could just be like, hey, it's a roguelite, you're Hades, and you're just trying to get to the end. And people probably would have been like, hey, this is a great game. But they just added a story to it to like, oh, this just makes it so much much better. Mm. Play some more Dragon Ball Z. I did buy the other character pack, so I got all the characters except for the ones that haven't released yet.
Oh, cool.
So I played with Master Yoshi, and I like playing with him. I like him. And I played with Kefla, the female Saiyan, and who was on my team? I think Vegito, or was it Gogeta? I think it was Vegito. Oh, that's so stupid. But I had Vegito, and like I did great. But it's a problem with doing great when you do arcade mode. Because it gets a lot harder. So I got to the final one, and it's super hard. I'm fighting the hardest thing you can possibly fight. And I'm getting my ass kicked. Like, these guys, man, my Yoshi couldn't get one fucking hit in on that first guy. Shit. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. So then I'm like, okay, is there a way they can just make it like what if you just keep dying and make it easier? No, it doesn't seem like it is. I died like 20 times and still couldn't get past those guys. So I was thinking, like, is there a way they can just put me down the rank so I can fight the other guys? Cause it's too strong for me. But unfortunately, they don't have it that way. They make it so that you have to quit out and then you lose all your progress. And I'm like, that's bullshit. That's it. I was good enough to get here, but I'm not good enough to beat them. So they should like drop your rank and say, oh, you gotta fight the next level guys because you're not good enough. Or give you the option to say, hey, you drop down a rank, so you have to go fight the next level of combatants. Because the Dragon Ball Z is not just a simple go up a tower like in Mortal Kombat. How well you do in your fighting, how well you fight in the grade you get is what combatant you will fight. So if you've done very well, you'll fight a little stronger. Your combatant would be pretty stronger. If you didn't do that well, even if you still won, but you like barely won, maybe you up to your last man and you beat him, you'll move up, but you won't move up to the highest level you could possibly have moved up.
Yeah,
they give you grades.
In the mid tier.
Yeah, but the problem is that I was at the maximum tier, unfortunately. And I can't go down. And I was thinking that, cause it says that if you replay this, your rank won't be as high. I guess if you beat them, your rank won't be as high. Which, okay. But can you at least make them easier also?
Right.
Too, then? Damn it. Cause these guys are still kicking my fucking ass. Like this highest rank, I'm fighting, Boo, Black, Goku, and I forgot. It's another. I think it's the green guy. The green god guy. Whatever. Oh, yeah. So I'm fighting them, and they are just kicking my butt. Especially Black Goku is like the first guy you see. It just seemed like he just always do this slashing move. I can never get him, man. Stop him. I was like, I don't know how to stop. I mean, when I'm gonna try to block, they still kick my ass. Yeah, it's like, damn, I can't do it. I think I got it to one guy at one point, but man, my man was down, health was so far down, and he just, they killed me. But yeah. So I was like, now I know, like, okay, I just know that if I get to like a certain point, I'm going to purposely lose. So when I do a rematch, I know I'm not going to be able to fight. I have to fight those guys. But yeah, but the game, man, this game is it's so much fun. It just looks so good, man, doing those power-ups. Like, this is still one of my favorite fighting games. like playing this game. Like pulling off those moves and the way, the animation, like it's between that and, Mortal Kombat or like my current, like my fighting days of this current gen. Yeah. They're my favorite fighting games. All right. What else did I play? Oh yes, there's a free weekend this current weekend as we speaking. When I'm talking on the 27th. It's the 27th. I want to start putting dates on our podcast so people can know, like, hey, this is old news. You'll see why it's old news because we recorded it on this day. So this is March 27th as we're recording this. So as this weekend, the free game for this weekend, it goes on all platforms. Watch Dogs Legion is free to play. It's a trial version though. So it's actually different from the original version because they do have some places that you can go there, but you can't do the missions. So they didn't even go anywhere. You just can't do missions. Because I was in some location. I was like, if you have the full game, you can do it. I think it's a sale on the game. I think it's like half off on it. So, so far, I played, a nice little chunk. I recorded it. I played it on the Xbox and I played it on PC. I recorded what I played on the Xbox though. And it looks good. It runs well on the Xbox. It runs great. I mean, most Ubisoft games do that I played anyway. I never had a problem with Ubisoft games on the Xbox. Like the latest games I only had problems with were the Square Enix games. That's with Avengers and the Outriders. Yeah. Outriders. Like it just seemed like it wasn't optimized very well for these old gen systems. And there's no excuse really because they don't really look graphically demanding. Right. Really. That they should be a lot better than that. So anyway, Watch Dogs Legions. I mean, if you play Watch Dogs games, you know what it is. I mean, you are a hacker. You get to hack in almost anything, like cameras, people's phones, and that nature. And you're fighting the big corporations and stuff like that. And apparently something happened. This corporation called Albion did some bombings in the London, and it blamed it on DedSec. So the people think DedSec did it. And now they have basic control over everything. And now you're trying to break that control and show the truth. And you get to recruit people. Like you pick who you want to be because it doesn't matter who you are. Each person has a different ability. It's no main character. So you can switch. So you start off as a character. One time the character I picked was like some, I don't know, Rasta looking dude, London guy. Yeah. So, I mean, Jamaica was what, like a province of the British Empire, right? I mean, so, hey, I guess it fits. I think it's known that some Jamaicans even immigrated there. Also, they live there. So he could be, that's what I'm saying. He could be Jamaican. It could be that he just in London. He actually could be, because I look at his colors. It looked Jamaican colors. So, I had picked that dude, and I don't know what he was good at. I just picked him. I honestly didn't look at none of his stats or anything. Like, I did some early missions, like, the basic tutorial missions that really get your hands wet. Well, get your feet wet. Then I also did one where a fight club. And I was fighting. And I beat up those guys pretty easily. And I was thinking, like, this guy don't look like a fighter. This guy who I am. I feel like I should have got beat up. Oh, John, hold on real quick, man.
Yep. Okay.
All right, I'm back. All right, so I was talking about Watch Dogs. All right.
Yep.
So, also, yeah, like, the guy I had didn't look like much of a fighter. So, I was thinking, like, maybe my fighting skills won't be great. I'll probably get beat up in this fight club thing. But no, I easily beat him up. I'm curious, like, damn, if I put an old lady, can I just beat him up?
Say, pick that granny and just beat the trash out of him.
Can I just go in a fight club and fight? I wouldn't know if I could do that. Cause this guy don't look old, so I mean, I wouldn't say he's young, I say he's middle-aged. But then, they say that's a good way to find some recruit people. And some people, they're not for DedSec. So it even says it, like, I picked all the guys, and it even says, like, oh, these guys, this guy don't trust DedSec. This guy they say this guy reads forums about basically how DedSec is wrong and stuff like that, propaganda. So, one of the guys did seem like he would be recruitable. So I went to him, and you have to do a favor for him. And my favor was that I had to steal a car for him, like a car that was technically his. Forgot what the real story was. I think he said, he used to boost cars, but they reneged on the deal or something like that, and he wanted to get the car back. So I went and stole the car, but the car got damaged, but I still can drive it. And it said dump the car in the river, like Pacific River. Thing is, it must have been a glitch, because it showed on the map where to go. I don't know where the river is. I see a lot of water, so I was trying to just drive it anywhere, just hoping that, or hope this is the river to dump it in. Or like, what does it matter if I'm just dumping it? But whatever. But unfortunately, there's those invisible walls, or not really invisible, but they make it like, oh, the car can't go past here, so I can just go out into the water. And I was like, oh, this is bullshit. So I just had to quit, because my car is moving so slow because the tires are all busted anyway. So I'd spend all that time driving that car to find somewhere to dump it, and I couldn't even do it. So I was pissed off. But that's why I ended it, because I think I played like a good while in that game. But that was like the last mission I did. But I mean, the game it's alright. It seemed like it's a fun game. It seemed like I would enjoy it, because I did like even though the first game wasn't great, I played through that whole game. I played and beat that whole game. Yeah. The second game, I really did like. I really enjoyed that one a lot. They really improved on Watch Dogs 2. And this one seemed like it's okay. It seemed like it's an okay game. It's just that, I think the only problem will be that I'm not going to get attached to the character, because you can be anybody.
Right.
So you're not going to get a chance to the character. You're going to get a chance to, I guess, just the story, which I feel like, I don't know. I'm not getting that I'm going to be really like invested in these other characters, like the ones that are like, who's helping you. Like in 2, you invested in the character you played and your group. Like, you saw those guys. This is a little different. I mean, I see what they're going for here. I mean, I don't know if that could be a problem or it couldn't be. It all depends how you look at it. For me, because I'm always big on story, that's a little of a problem, that I probably won't be really invested in the story too much, just fucking around. While Watch Dogs 2, I think Watch Dogs 2 probably does it best. That you're invested in the characters also. Like, I like the guy who I played as, and I like the characters who you were interacting with. So, and I didn't put permadeath on either. But nobody died when I played. Nobody died. And I didn't play anybody else. I only played that guy. Now, when I played on PC, I did switch up. I did switch up to be a woman who I recruited. I did recruit a woman. What was I supposed to do? I stole some files because she worked somewhere. They fired her and took her research files, and she wanted me to get them back. Mm-hmm. I did that. Also on the PC version, I put cheats on because I wanted to do everything. But I also played as her a little bit, and she recruited somebody, and I had the ability, because since I put cheats on, I had like infinite tech points to a point where you can recruit people who are actually against DedSec, excuse me, your group, and you can actually still recruit them. Like, you could convince them. Yeah, you can convince them of that. Like, you could do something for them that really convinces them to switch over to your side. And I had to steal like a military vehicle to do that, and I did that. I mean, it seems like it's a good, fun, sandboxy game, man. Like, it seems like it's really fun. I like driving around London, because I didn't really drive around London in the games. Mm-hmm. The only game, trying to think, what game have I played where I drove around London? I mean, it was that game, The Getaway, back on PlayStation 2. Yeah. That was the closest thing, and I played the demo of that. I don't think I played Driver London.
Did you play that one?
There was a Grand Theft Auto London?
I think so. It was when they were still like the top-down ones, though. Oh,
then no. I never played none. I played none of the top-down ones. Grand Theft Autos. So yeah, I don't think I played any game where you were in London, except for some of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Whichever one that was.
On the wrong side of the street.
Yeah. Oh, I'm always driving on the wrong side of the street. I was like, oh crap, the car's coming at me. Yeah, I had to come over. But I'm always going down one-way street, so it'd be like I can't avoid it. I can't avoid that shit. I was like, oh no, yeah, damn, some small ass streets in London. Jesus Christ! Like they were made for horse and carriages. That's what you need to drive over there, or everybody needs to drive like a Fiat.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you need to drive those.
They hate big cars.
Smart cars. on those smart cars where those half a car, I get one butt cheek in there. Yeah, I need something like that. All right. What else we got, Dan? Did I play anything else? I think that might be it for me. All right. So what did you play?
I played more of Super Mario 3D Land or World, the Bowser's Fury stuff. More just exploring the islands. I opened up a few more. I'm still having a good time with that. I still like the concept of it. It still feels a little half-baked. It definitely feels like a kind of tech test add-on bonus thing instead of like, this is definitely, a brand new Mario. And I mean, obviously it is in a lot of ways because you're getting 3D World in addition to this. But if this is the direction that they go with the Super Mario franchise, I'm all about it. I really, really dig what they're doing with it, and to see it in a bigger, more expansive world, I think would be really cool. Other than that, I played some Murder by Numbers, which I had previously talked about, I think around the time that it released. It's basically a Phoenix Wright-esque game where you're going around to different stationary areas and you're looking around exploring for different clues and whatnot. In this, the story is that you're an actress who has just been fired from a cop show, and then you find out that your boss, the guy that just fired you, is dead. And there's police on the scene investigating, and you're like, I'm not just going to wait around. I'm going to find out what's happening myself. And
why? Is your boss is dead, so that should be good.
Well, I mean, part of it is, they're looking at you as possibly prime suspect, so you're trying to, you're trying to free yourself, basically. Cause the cops have you locked up in the television station until they investigate, and you're like, look, we've been waiting around for hours and they haven't even questioned us yet. I'm going to do some investigating. Also, there's this little robot. I don't know where he's from. I don't know if they're going to explain that, but he's kind of like your partner, and he's the one that gets you involved in the puzzle aspect of it. Cause this is also a Picross style game. Those number puzzles where it has like a checkerboard pattern or a grid, I guess rather, and then numbers at the top and one of the sides, and it tells you like how many blocks are filled in each of those rows. And that's kind of how you discover the clues. So you look around the room through the robot, and it'll kind of start blinking red as you near a clue, and then it'll turn fully red when you find a clue and you click on it, and then it goes into one of the Picross puzzles and you solve the puzzle, and then you're like, oh, hey, here's a tampon. Cause that's the spoilers, the first thing that you find in that game.
Okay. I was really confused, Dang. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, she's looking for her car keys, and the robot's like, here, I'll help you. And you're like, that doesn't really look like a car key. And she's like, this isn't a car key. Yeah, cause the robot's kind of broken. He found himself in the junkyard. So he's trying to recalibrate himself. But so far it's a lot of fun. It has a nice looking art style. It looks kind of the same as like Dream Daddy in that like stationary art, but very well drawn characters. And I'm liking it so far. Part of me is kind of, I'm liking the story so far, but part of me is like, I really just want to be doing some Picross puzzles. So I'm kind of thinking like, maybe when I finish this, if I'm still having that itch for more, I should just get like an actual Picross game. One of the things I don't like is that it doesn't use the touchscreen. So you still have to use the controllers to move around. I would have thought during.
What a waste.
Yeah. I mean, this very, very much feels like a game that you could play on a cell phone, and I would like if you could just kind of do that with the control, with the Switch is the word I'm looking for. With the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, it definitely, it feels like a lot of a waste, because a game like this, like a Phoenix Wright thing, you can very much make into a touchscreen only game.
Yeah. I should be able to play without the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, and in fact they have. I mean, those games are available on the phones now. But yeah, just give me the option. That's all I'm asking for. So.
Actually, I think I did.
I have to check the options or something.
I'm trying to think. What game did I take off the Joy-Cons just to try it? I mean, was it Phoenix Wright?
There was one that I did that with. I can't remember what it was. I don't think it was Phoenix Wright for me, though. Yeah.
But yeah, I want to try that game out now because I like those type of games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it would definitely be right up your alley as long as the pick cross stuff, works for you too.
Yeah, I got to try. I never really tried. Yeah, I never tried pick cross.
Yeah, they're clever little puzzles. I find them interesting. So you make little pictures out of them at the end. So it's fun. So that's what I've been playing.
Oh, that's it? Damn. We're done already? All right, then. All right. So I guess we'll take a quick break. And when we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. Now we're flashbacking to 2011. This is the last days of March I'm doing because next week it will be April. So I got quite a few games here. Some of these games I probably won't say. I just copied and paste shit. So we got the first one, Angry Birds Rio came out for the iOS and the Mac. That's because the Rio movie came out.
Yep.
The Angry Birds version of that. I did see that movie. Well, I watched half of it until I realized I didn't like it, and I stopped. Did you watch this movie?
No, I never did see Rio, but I did play Angry Birds Rio. That was still when I was playing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Playing Angry Birds stuff. It was alright. It was not too bad. They added, special stuff.
Oh, okay. I also, I'm my fault. Crysis 2, well, I did play it, the Crysis 2. The Crysis 2 came out, and that came out on Windows, PS3, and Xbox 360. So that great game came out. It was great because, it was like, oh, Crysis can run on the consoles, because we were afraid, because Crysis came out, it was like, oh no, it's too powerful.
Otherwise.
It was too powerful to run on the consoles. But this came out, it's got on everything. Yeah. And it was a fun game. I like this game.
Yeah, I like Crysis 2 a lot. It's when they added the different suit powers and stuff.
Oh yeah, I like I definitely like the suit powers. Even though I played Crysis 1, I played it years later, when we did the podcast, when we first did the podcast, I remember playing that. I don't remember it much though. I don't remember much of it, even though I played it. Dissidia 12 Final Fantasy? Oh, I don't know what the fuck that even means. Dissidia 012 Final Fantasy came out on PSP. I want to say that is the fighting game with the Final Fantasy characters, but I don't know what the number means.
There were 12 times 3 characters.
I don't know.
So 36.
But it was a fun fantasy fighting game, but it was like that weird, almost reminds me of the Dragon Ball Z types of games, and when you're floating around.
Like the open worldy kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Open space.
So, I wasn't really into that much. I think I actually played this though. I think I played this on a PSP. I think I borrowed it from GameFly. I just don't remember, but I don't know if this is the first one. I played the first one, wherever that was. I did play that one. And I was like, I'm not a big fan of it. So when the other ones came out, didn't really care much for it. Do you know what this game is? Do I need to mention it?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, we'll skip it. All right. Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars came out. Yeah. I never played this Lego game. But this is based off the Clone Wars games. And I have it because it came with, I believe, Xbox Live Gold. It probably came on PlayStation too, but I just don't know. But, yeah, that's one of the Star Wars Lego games I haven't played yet. And we still got a new one coming out this year, Dan. That big, humongous one that's supposed to come out.
The complete Skywalker collection or whatever, yeah.
What else we got? We got Monster Tail on the Nintendo DS came out. I don't know what that is.
I remember that cover, but I have a
feeling it's going to be a Pokemon game.
That's what I was thinking, but it says
it's not? It's a side-scroller?
Platformer and virtual pet game.
Well,
I think it's virtual pet game kind of sounds Pokemon-ish.
So it's side-scrolling Pokemon.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got? We got a Naruto game came out, Shippuden Kazuna Drive. If you're a Naruto fan, you probably know what all those words mean. It's on PSP. We got PlayStation Move Heroes came out. That's with all those PlayStation characters. Like, what was it? Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper. Was there anybody else? Was it the hippo or the turtle with Sly Cooper?
Turtle's on the cover here.
Okay.
I forgot about that game completely. Like, I don't even know what you do in it. Do you play as those characters and poke them with the Move controller?
Maybe. Because there was another game, too. You remember the 4 Heroes one? You remember that game with, like, 4 heroes, and it's like, you play... It's another, like, mascot type of game. But
maybe.
But what's the different... I just wonder what's the difference between that and this Move one. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. This 4 Heroes...
You're not talking about the fighting game, right?
No. You talking about the one that's like Smash Brothers?
Yeah, I was thinking All Stars.
No, not that one. All for One.
Oh.
That's Ratchet and Clank All for One.
That's what is that the Ratchet and Clank one?
Yeah, that fault. That's Ratchet and Clank All for One. Okay. That's what Ratchet and Clank is. Yeah, you're with Nefarious, and Quark. Okay.
I remember that one and going like, oh man, they finally found a way to ruin Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, damn.
Even though I think it was supposed to be okay, but it wasn't great.
Alright, so what else we got here? We got The Sims Medieval has come out. That's I believe the expansion of The Sims.
Oh, weird.
But wait a minute. Which Sims is that?
It looks like I don't know. Like original Sims, I guess? Like new generation original Sims?
But it says Windows and Mac. I would think it'd be like Sims 2 or 3, whatever the hell that came out.
Maybe it was its own thing.
Its own thing? I was there, and then I really don't know this then. I was thinking it was just expansion. Tomb Raider Trilogy came out for PS3. There's all 3 Tomb Raider games. The new ones. Like, not the newest ones. It's like the middle between the old ones. Yeah, between the old ones and the new ones, there was another trilogy.
I freaking love those games. Those were very good versions of those Tomb Raider games.
Yeah, you bought those games.
The Anniversary Collection.
And I never played them. I kind of want to play them now.
They're good. I want to say like at least one of those ended up as like a Games for Gold thing, or maybe not, because I think last time we talked about it, we found out that they weren't backwards compatible. So they would have to be on the PC.
You think you got it on Steam?
I'm trying to think, because there was that collection where I got like a ton of Tomb Raider games, but I want to say it was all like it was like part of a Humble Bundle or something, but I want to say it was all like the old Tomb Raider games, not Anniversary and up.
Alright, so what else we got here? We got Ghostbusters Sanctum of Slime. That was the Xbox Live Arcade PlayStation Network game. Also came on Windows.
Like a top-down kind of shooter or dual stick thing?
Yeah. Also, we have... the big news is that the 3DS was released this week in the US.
Oh, okay.
So, we got a lot of 3DS games that came out. We got Asphalt 3D. I'm guessing maybe do with the pavement or something like that.
Asphalt pavement. It's a pornography game.
Oh, okay.
Tons of ass everywhere.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe is it a skateboarding game? Is it
no? It was a racing game. Yeah,
it was a racing game. Okay,
like a Need for Speed kind of thing.
Okay, Busta Move Universe came on 3DS. You got Combat of Giants, Dinosaurs 3D. Oh yeah, I remember that.
I remember that one.
Lego Star Wars 3, Clone Wars for 3DS, Madden NFL Football for 3DS.
It's kind of weird to think that Madden came out. I remember that being a big deal too, because it was like the first time Madden came to a Nintendo handheld, and I don't think it was very good.
And it doesn't come on Nintendo anymore. the Madden. The 10 dogs plus cats to 3DS. Pilot Wings Resort. Pro Evolution Soccer 2011. Rayman 3D, Ridge Racer 3D, Samurai Warriors Chronicles. It doesn't say 3D at the end, Daniel, so I don't think it's 3D. The Sims 3
to get all the people on screen.
That was the. They could have used Sim 3D, man, but they just said Sims 3. Come on.
They didn't want to commit to it.
Still Diver. What's Still Diver?
It's the sub game.
Okay.
I think I heard that one was actually pretty okay too.
We call them penis boats. That's gun of horror. That's what we call that. They call them that. I think I heard it on the Veep when they had built so many songs and we got giant dildos. We just got big giant metal dildos here doing nothing because they built all these songs and doing nothing. Super Street Fighter 4 3D edition, Super Monkey Ball 3D, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, Shadow Wars for the 3DS. All those games launched on 3DS, Dad. And Dan, and then what was the problem with the 3DS that they had to do that ambassadors?
I think part of it was
game?
It was just way too expensive, and then they finally lowered the price, and that's when people got like the make goods, the original was it the SNES games that they got for free?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
that's how they got like Super Metroid and stuff. That was exclusive in the Virtual Console. Yeah, I mean there was that. It was just. I think the hardware was just not great. I mean, I remember not being as excited for it once it came out. There wasn't really any good games. I mean, we just went through what came out and there's not a ton of new things there to really sell somebody on that console. But the technology was really cool. I mean, I remember seeing it at Target like, oh, I can see this in 3D, but I don't have glasses on.
Wait a minute. So Zelda wasn't a launch game?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I thought Ocarina of Time was. Ocarina of Time was.
I think it came around like June or July, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that same year.
But did it already come out for Japan? But I know it probably came to Japan first at some point.
I don't remember. I'm trying to think if we talked about it because I remember us talking a couple weeks back about the 3DS launch for Japan.
Yeah. I mean, no, I don't think it launched with Japan, but I was just saying,
okay.
I remember I think it was in a magazine. Maybe it was a magazine that was talking about the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time. Yeah. All right, so we got PSP game. PSP still coming up with strong games, Dad. They got the third birthday, wherever the hell that is. I'm sure it's a Japanese thing.
It was just their third birthday, so they released an app that when you opened it, it said and then closed.
A game called on the PlayStation Network, Chime Super Deluxe. Chime sounds familiar. We also had Dynasty Warrior 7 came out on the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360.
Nice. And
also Johnny Test, your favorite cartoon, because you love the hair, came out for almost basically everything. 3DS included. Yeah. The 3DS, NDS, the Nintendo DS, the PS3, PS2, even PS2 is still getting games. PSP, Wii, and Xbox 360.
That is the heyday of some fucking licensed ass shit right there, dog.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, that was like, it's releasing on everything.
Let's get all the spots.
Is the Nintendo Entertainment System still out there? Can we still put on there? All right. Here we go. The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky came out for the PSP in the US. This gotta be like the first one. Yes, the original one that came out, and I didn't know about
Begins.
it. Yep. NASCAR the game, because it just you won't get confused of the other NASCARs.
NASCAR the event
came out on the 360, PS3, and the Wii. Rush in Attack Expatriate. Is that like a play on Russian?
It's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
There's definitely a Russian star on this thing, so yeah.
Yeah.
The player primarily engages enemies with knives in Russian Attack Expatriate. Players are rewarded for stealth kills from behind, from the shadows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, people who you're just listening, so it's like Rush, RUSH apostrophe N. So it says like Rush In. This came on the PlayStation Network. Also, Shift 2 Unleashed. I think that's a racing game, I believe. On Windows, PS3, and Xbox 360.
Yeah, remember the Shift games?
We also had Tiger Woods PGA Tour 12. Tiger Woods was still on the title of these games. Go.
The heyday of golf.
Yeah, PS3, 360, and Wii. We also got probably the last great WWE game. WWE All-Stars came out on the PS2, PS3, PSP, 360, and the Wii. Man, and this wasn't backwards compatible, because I would love to pay, I would pick this up probably just to say, like, this is the last great wrestling game.
I never played it. I've seen it before, and I've heard people talk about how great it is, but I really never played that one. And it's a shame.
Yeah.
It'd be nice for it to be backwards compatible.
You know what this game is?
I do not.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I mean, unless you just look at this and see it's worth it.
No.
The Russian Attack did also call Xbox Live Arcade. Also, TNT Racers came out for the PSP and Wii. I feel like we read that somewhere before.
Yeah, probably something else.
Yeah.
Came out February for Xbox 360.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. So now that was it for 2011. So now we go back 20 years to the year 2001. So this week in 2001 to the end of March, we had Klonoa 2. Lunate's Veil, I think
now
that's it.
Now we're talking, Dominic.
Klonoa was there. That was a pretty good platform that I never played. It.
I was envious of that because didn't have a PlayStation at the time, and I was like, man, those Klonoa games look good. They finally came out with one, I think, on like the Game Boy Advance or something that was pretty fun.
Yeah. See, that's just something that I couldn't tell my parents to get, or I wouldn't buy my own money. Cause it's like, I want to spend money on a game like this, a side scroller. I was still in the mindset like side scrollers are so backwards when I got these 3D games to play and shoot people. Why would I go to this kitty looking side scroller? Now I kind of wish I did get it somewhat. All right. What else we got that came out? I'm not going to say this one. I'm going to say this one though. Black and White came out.
That's a big one.
Windows.
I remember being very excited about that game and then like seeing how it actually played and going like, ugh, I actually don't want to play this.
Why? What you thought it was?
I don't know. I just always thought like I saw the big like cow and whatever other animal gods. Like I don't know. I think maybe I thought there was like direct control over it kind of thing instead of just a point and tell your
somebody's barbecuing. I smell it. I got my window open. No, damn it.
Go meet the neighbors, Dominic.
or something's on fire. It's either someone barbecuing or something's on fire.
Hopefully it's just something's on fire.
Yes. But yeah, Black and White, I was really excited for this game, but I didn't have a PC to play it. I don't think I had a problem with a PC to play it at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like very envious.
My problem too.
I was very envious of this game because my friend would tell me about it. Say, "Oh, that Black and White," because we would look at the magazines, and he had a PC problem. I think he ended up getting it. I was like, "Oh man!" And even because I knew when I tried to force that Medal of Honor to play that, man, I was chugging along on that Normandy Beach, and I was like, "Nope, I ain't getting no more games until I get a new PC." And I ain't get a new PC until almost 20 years later. Well, 10 years later. 10 years later. And I was in high school when this came out. Damn. Man, that's a long time ago. All right, what else we got here? I didn't even know about this game. The Simpsons, Night of the Living Treehouse of Horror. On Game Boy Color. I did not know The Simpsons had a Treehouse of Horror game.
I feel like I've heard about it, but I've never really seen it.
Oh, yes, this is a big release. Zone of Enders came out for the PlayStation 2.
There you go.
So this was huge. This is the demo disc for Metal Gear Solid 2. Yeah. That's what everybody got it for, including myself. I didn't like Zone of Enders. All right game. But hey, we all know that most people got that game because of the Metal Gear Solid demo disc. Or they bought the Metal Gear Solid demo disc from GameStop because they sold it separately. I don't know how that was legal. Honestly. I don't know how it was legal. Because they did that.
It's not because it says not for resale on it.
Well, they did that for that Zelda. When Zelda Ocarina of Time for the GameCube came out, you only could get
collection.
It. Yeah.
Yep.
They had that on there. And I was like, how are y'all selling this? It says not for resale on the box.
All an inside job, Dominic.
I'm like, yeah, that's some assholes. I mean, good for the person who got money. I mean, I guess they got money because they sold it to you, but I don't know how much did y'all pay for it? That's all I want to know. I should have asked them. I don't remember. All right. Oh yes, one of your favorite cartoons, Dan, and this really is one of your favorite cartoons. Rocket Power, Getting Air came out on the Game Boy Color.
Rocket Power a lot. I might actually play this as one of the things I like downloaded and played on the Game Boy emulators back in the day because I did like Rocket Power. It was a fun show. I feel like there needs to be something like that. Are kids still extreme nowadays, Dominic? Do they still love the skateboarding and the sports?
Oh, that's the thing. I mean, I think they still do. I think in like if you go to California somewhere, but it's like I mean, I know people like skateboarding, but I just have to think of a cartoon that's like that.
Yeah,
that's close to that. I can't think of anything. Everybody has that freaking look of animation that's so simple.
Yeah.
Like if I can draw it, it's simple because I can't draw.
That was the thing about Rockbauer too, is like it was a little more complex because it looked like Rugrats, but with older kids in that way. And also you had characters on there that you didn't really see a lot necessarily back then, people that weren't just white.
No, yeah, exactly. They look like they could be the Rocks people or something. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what they were.
Although when I think about it, like I think like the main characters actually they just had really strong tans, but there was like the bigger dude. I think he was supposed to be like Samoan or something.
Samoan, yeah. Yeah, maybe they were, but I just can't. So you think the whole family, well, he and his sister, maybe their mother wasn't. And because the father was white.
Like,
the father was white.
That's what maybe is sticking with
me. And they were mixed. And the only white dude I can think of was really the guy with the glasses. The other dude, he could be some Hispanic race. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah.
All right. What else we got here? We got Pokemon Stadium 2. One of your favorite Pokemon games. We also have Strikers 1945 2 for PS1. Oh, there's a part 2 to it.
I was going to say, is that a playing game or is it a soccer game? But it's a playing game.
No, they're playing soccer during World War I. I mean, World War II. And then you have an Indiana Jones game. Indiana Jones and the Inferno Machine came out for the Game Boy Color.
Oh, boy.
And you have some couple other games I got down here. I wrote. You got an Army Man game, another Army Man game.
Of course.
Air Attack 2 for the PlayStation 2. And this is awesome because it probably looks so awesome. On PlayStation 2. And also a history game, the Waterloo, Napoleon's Last Battle. So are you playing as Napoleon? Can you like rewrite history and win?
Nope. You always just lose.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. But like I said, I want like a Dynasty Warriors version of maybe Napoleon. Yeah. It should be one with like, you playing as like the French Revolution and all that stuff and going through it to Napoleon's life in Dynasty Warrior style. And then I can learn about all the other great generals around that time that took him down or something on Napoleon's side. And like you said, Napoleon, like he's some short man, but he's real powerful. Oh man, that'd be pretty great.
What superpower would you give to Napoleon?
That's what I'm thinking. What would you? A Napoleon complex, it'd be called.
There'd just be a giant boot that comes down from the sky that steps on them. Like, I thought I was small.
Yeah.
But I'm big.
What else we got here? Oh, we got, this, from Electronic Arts. This is about SSX. The Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences awards SSX with 5 awards, including Console Game of the Year, Outstanding Achievement in Visual Engineering, Outstanding Achievement in Gameplay Engineering, Racing Game of the Year, and Sports Game of the Year. Darn. Good for it.
SSX definitely was the thing that like was selling me on wanting a PlayStation 2. So
I mean, that game was awesome. I mean, EA Big was doing some great things back then. I mean, you had SSX, the SSX games, SSX Tricky. You had the Street game, NBA Street to NBA Street 2. Then you had, of course, the wrestling fighting game, Def Jam Vendetta. You had NFL Street. Some people like that. I never played NFL Street. I never played NFL Street or the soccer. But I heard some people like those. So
I like the NFL Street. It was cool for me because, like, obviously I'm not a guy that watches too much football. So, like, it made it a little simpler for me.
Yeah. Yeah, you still think Doug Flutie still plays? Because I heard remember you saying that in past
Wait,
podcast.
Are you trying to tell me Doug Flutie is retired? Ah, shit. No wonder I get no fantasy points from him.
All right. What else I got here? I guess that is it for 2001. So now we're going to go back 25 years. I got a couple games here. We got a Virtual Boy game that came out 25 years ago. 3D Tetris for the Virtual Boy for the United States and those dirty Canadians in Canada, they got it too. So I was joking with you. They're nice. They're nice people up there. Nice and dirty. All right. What else we got here? We got Romance of Three Kingdoms 4, Wall of the Fire came on PlayStation. The PlayStation version came out in the United States. This is the Koei Tecmo game of the Romance of Three Kingdoms, the guys with the Dynasty Warriors, but in strategy form, basically. It's just like a strategy game version of that. And I think that's, I want to say that's what they did before Dynasty Warriors. I think it's Romance of Three Kingdoms first, and then Dynasty Warriors came from that. Alright, so that is it. Are you still there? You're like real quiet. Oh. Alright, and that is it. So I guess we'll take a break, and when we get back, we get into the gaming news.
Alright.
And we're back. Let's get into the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
Alright, Dominic. So yesterday, Xbox had an ID at Xbox stream along with Twitch. Had some Twitch streamers on there that I'm not familiar with, but there were people and they talked about stuff. And they had a crap ton of games that they were talking about coming to Game Pass. So many that we're not even going to be able to cover all of them, but there were a few standouts. I know you watched a good portion of this as well. You were telling me Among Us, they're doing the new map on there, and that's coming soon.
Yes. It's a spaceship. I'm not such a spaceship. It looks like some type of plane or something. Damn, I just had
I remember seeing the outside of it when they first announced it at like the Game Awards or whatever, but I haven't seen what.
Yeah, it looked like a plane. Yeah, it looked like a plane, like a giant plane. Yeah, it's an airship map that. Oh, they're going to have more of it on the 29th of March. They're going to show more about this map. But that's all I really know about it. So you're not in a spaceship. So it looks like you're on some planet or whatever. I don't know. Are these people human? I'm going to say no.
I was going to ask, what are the Among Us people?
Because, they don't have arms.
They also turn into like sticks of meat when you kill them, right? So.
Yeah. So
and they have like weird darty tongues that you stab people with or something.
I don't know when it's going to be released. Did it say when it's going to be released?
This video says early 2021, but this is from March 18th. March 31st, apparently.
Okay. So the day before, 2 days before, they're going to have a show to show more of this new map. But yeah, that's what a lot of people were watching this for. Apparently, because based on the people in the comments, they're like, where's the Among Us? Where's the Among Us map? What by Among Us?
That's crazy. I mean, it was super huge last year. I feel like the talk I've heard of it is settled down, but that's, these are like games journalists, quote unquote.
Yeah, they probably settled down. Like they're people really. Because they got to move on. Yeah. While the rest of the world does not have to. They say, no, we're staying here playing this game.
I'm playing Among Us and Fortnite for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
Buying all that.
Like you can move on, like Rainbow Six Siege. Like, yeah, you moved on, but we're still here.
Yep. Now we're announcing our all Rainbow Six Siege podcast, Dominic, our spinoff. I'm going to talk about new heroes or whatever they call them every week. All right. Another one that caught our attention, Astraca Ascending. That one looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's like, what is it, side-scrolling
RPG?
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah. Like, I don't know why I said side-scrolling and then like beat 'em up was the only thing that could come to mind, and I know it's not that. But it does have kind of like the art style, like a classic Japanese RPG kind of art style of what the drawings would look like and not the actual games, much like your Dragon Lair.
Vagrant Story was one that used back on the PlayStation 1 era, had that type of art style, and they use it in a lot of the old, like the Final Fantasy games where, I forgot what they call it. It was a name for those games with Final Fantasy 12, Final Fantasy Tactics, and the Final Fantasy RPG, the massive role-playing game. They had a name for those type of games.
The more medieval fantasy style
Yeah, because they have that type of art style in the art of those games. And it was a name for that universe, like for those games. I just don't remember what it was, because I remember they did that with the 13 had a name. The 13 and those 3 games, they had names. It's something, yeah. There's something to that.
I wonder if it's also just because it was like one of the artists that did that kind of style stuff.
It may be. Maybe.
It might be that. Yeah, so that looked really cool. Another one, Exomecha. That one looked neat. You were telling me about that, so I looked it up, and it's like an online, what is it? Basically a shooter, but there were also like robots fighting each other, melee combat. There were also some like dragons.
Yeah, like dragon mechs. Yeah. And so I was wondering, like, if it's something like, hey, do you level up and you can be that, or do somebody call it in? Like, what is that? Like, what is that? It looked like it's from different teams.
It's a Titanfall situation.
Yeah. So, it looked like a cool multiplayer game.
Yeah, and the graphics were neat because they had, like, all the metallic stuff had this, like, very interesting sheen on it. Like, it was, like, very clean and what you don't really see anymore. Now everything's kind of grungy, but it was very, like, shiny.
And it looks like if you do, like, you kill a guy, or, like, when you do a assassination kill, whatever the hell, it looks like they do turn into rust or something, like their skin changes or something like that. It was something to that. But yeah, I'm curious to see more about this game. It does look good. I want to see what it is, like more of it, see exactly what it is.
Another one that looked really nice was Sable. This one caught my attention because it's got like almost like a paper drawing look to it, even though it's a 3D world. And the way they use color in the trailer too, like the character had this like orangish red orb glow around him that also like, I don't know, it changed the way the environment looked around him in a certain way that looked really cool. That seems like it's kind of an action-y, adventure-y style thing. Away into the woods, you're playing as a deer, and you're running around what looks to be a city.
And we've seen this before, yeah. We've seen this game before.
Okay.
Oh, you don't remember? Yeah, we've seen this game. They showed this game before. I remember talking about it. They showed it off when Spiritfarer was around, because I used to get that confused.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to remember.
So,
yeah.
So do they finally have a date for this game then?
I haven't seen one outside of 2021. A lot of this stuff that they were showing off in this stream was 2021, but I didn't see a lot of solid dates on anything. Yeah.
Oh, there's one game I want to mention before we move on, because I'm watching the video right now of this. There's a game called, I think it's called Beyond Extinction. I'm trying to rewind it back.
Oh, okay.
It's like you fighting dinosaurs. So it kind of reminds me of like a Turok kind of thing going on here.
Ooh.
But it looks like you're going down these pods, and it's a first person shooter. Yeah, you're shooting these dinosaurs, and it looked like current times too. It's not like you're in the past or anything. It's like
Second Extinction.
Yeah, it says Second Extinction. That's what it is. Okay. Second Extinction.
Okay, because this looks much more like what you were describing. Because the other thing was like it was a first person shooter, but it just seemed like kind of generic walls, like laboratory, and you were shooting these things that looked just like weird monsters and not dinosaurs. But this looks cool as hell.
Yeah, but it looks like it could be kind of like a multiplayer thing. This going on, so I don't know exactly.
Man, it's blowing these dinosaurs into pieces.
And it said there's a game preview. It's going to be coming to Xbox Game Pass, and a game preview April 28th.
Oh, cool. Yeah. This guy is right in the comments here from 10 months ago. There is a severe lack of dino games. Thank God for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, not everybody wants to play Ark, man, where you have to be a survivor, man. I just want to shoot dinosaurs. Like, exactly. I'll play Ark Evolve.
I also want to play as a dinosaur.
Yeah, I'll play Ark Evolve if you can fast forward me to the part where I can have a pet dinosaur. I mean,
just pay like $600 and we'll get you right there, Dominic.
Yeah. All right. So what else we got, man?
All right. We also have Craftopia. You were telling me about this and I looked it up because you were like, man, this looks like Breath of the Wild, and sure as hell it does. Like even more so than a Phoenix Immortals Rising. Like, this is almost blatant in the way that this looks like Zelda. Like, the character that they were playing as looked like she was dressed like Princess Zelda from Breath of the Wild. There's a motorcycle in there like you can get in the expansion in Breath of the Wild. Everything about it, like the gliding, there's gliding in there. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, if it's good, it's good, but I'm like, darn. Y'all really you're not going to just make a game like Breath of the Wild. You're going to make it even look like it. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some simplicity to Breath of the Wild that makes it so easily imitatable, right? Like, the graphic style isn't demanding. I mean, obviously, because it runs on the Switch, so it's maybe a cheaper, easier way to go with one of those games, while also like, hey, it looks like that thing that you guys really liked.
And it runs better. It runs better than it. Because we can play it on more powerful systems.
Yeah. You can play it on actual hardware. Yeah. And then, the last stop from Annapurna. This looks really cool. It has the look of why am I blanking on the name of it, Dominic? The teenage girl one we were just talking about last week.
Oh, oh my God. The Last of Us.
Not quite.
What is that game called?
I don't know why I'm completely blanking on it.
Tell me why.
Yes, but no. Not the word I was looking for. Beyond the Storm. There's a T in it. Why is it so hard? Oh, I can remember everything about it. Life is Strange.
Life is Strange.
God, I could think of the girl's name. I had to search for Max Caulfield to find out the name of it.
So it's you say there's a T in there. I guess it's strange.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. You threw me off with "Tell me why."
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but it has like that kind of realistic in a way, but cartoony and very simplistic shades to people, almost to the point where it's cell shaded, but not in like a Breath of the Wild way. And it sounds like you're playing as multiple characters and you're like inhabiting the body of a different character and then trying to like work together with the person that took over your body to figure out how to get back into your body. It sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
Has a cool vibe to it.
There was another game I saw also too, that Blaster Master is coming back.
Oh wow.
Blaster Master 3, 0 3 or 03rd. I don't know. It's Japanese. But Sunsoft is still around?
That's gotta be in name only, right?
I mean, darn. Cause I see Sunsoft down here on cause I'm looking at the trailer. But yeah, it looks just like Blaster Master. Like, it looks like old Blaster Master. Like, cause, Blaster Master, I didn't really know about that until the speed runs. Mm-hmm. I remember this game. But it looks like it's a cool game that you could be a tank and then you can get out the tank and be.
I think I played a little bit of whichever one is available on the Switch. Like, there's a demo for that one. And it didn't really do anything for me. I was actually surprised that it kind of didn't scratch that itch.
I didn't do anything for you, huh?
No.
Well, I'm sorry.
Should be, Dominic.
But yeah, so that's coming out. I don't see if it says like Xbox Game Pass something, but it's coming out. It has a date. It says July 29th, I think.
Okay.
All right. So what else we got, man?
Yeah. So there was also one other game on there that really caught my attention. Drinkbox Studios, the guys behind Guacamelee and Mutant Blob from Space. And also I think they made that game Severed. They're coming out with a new game called Nobody Saves the World. It's allegedly coming soon. That's all they had as far as dates go. but you seemingly play as like this like blank slate of a character that can then either transform or inhabit the bodies of all sorts of different characters. There was like a wizard in there. There was also like this muscle man. There was a rat. The gameplay seems like it's kind of like a roguelite kind of thing, like a Hades or a, what is that one that I'm trying to think of? Shoot. I'm just not, my brain is not working today,
Dead Cells?
No, the one with the little naked kid.
The naked kid?
And he's like trapped in the basement.
Naked kid trapped in the basement.
From the Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy.
Naked kid trapped in the basement.
Why am I saying Thomas was alone? And they've released it 1 million times now. Binding of Isaac. That's what I'm trying to think
him.
of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the fetus.
Yes, the fetus. Yeah, I was trying to think of that. 'Cause it just has that, like, you're in these rooms, you're kind of moving around, you're getting different power-ups and stuff like that. That kind of thing to it. So, it looks really neat. At first, the first screenshot I'd seen, it looked like it was kind of, maybe like more of an RPG thing, because there were like buttons at the bottom of the screen and it showed you the different moves you could do. But they're just there because you have different moves on cooldowns and stuff like that. So it's not like a turn-based thing at all. It's straight up actiony, but it looks really neat. And I really like those Guacamelee games. I liked, Mutant Blood from Space a lot on the Vita. So I've been very happy with all the games coming from them so far.
Oh, yeah, that game looks cool. That game does look cool. I said I played Guacamelee too, because my friend, he's telling me to play that because he beat it.
It's so good. It really is. All right, Dominic, I got some bad news for you though. Back for Blood, the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, has been delayed from June 18th
I was so disappointed.
October 12th.
I was thinking about pre-ordering too, and I saw that. I said, "Oh, forget it. Pre-orders are stupid. Pre-orders are stupid," and then I didn't do it.
Good, at least it convinced you of that. Yeah. Trying to get that GameStop price back up, right?
Yeah.
Got to pre-order through them. Yeah, they're still going to do an open beta during the summer, apparently. But yeah, that sucks. But if they need the time to work on it, go ahead and do it. We don't need any more cyberpunk situations. It's a really,
we need
really
more.
rough spot,
We need more. We need more news. This is good. It's great news.
We just need more news, so delaying the game side. Or you want them to not delay it so we can talk about that for weeks.
Yes, I'm saying. Yeah, not delay it. Yeah, not delay it. Yeah, exactly. Come on, bad.
Because what will happen with them is just Turtle Rock will fucking go away.
Oh yeah. They will be. Yeah, they will definitely.
I mean, honestly, like, did we even think Turtle Rock was still around until they announced this game?
I did not.
I thought they got
good on them that they were able to still stay around.
Exactly. Yeah. So, speaking of GameStop, Reggie Fils-Aimé, former Nintendo of America president, has stepped down from the board. So, he pumped that stock up, got it up to $400 or whatever it was when everybody was buying into that shit. And then he stepped down. He was like, I cashed out. I got all my money. See you guys later.
He's going to come back to Pizza Hut and he's going to bring back the New Yorker.
Hell yeah.
Or what was it he did? What did he do?
Did he do the Bigfoot pizza or something like that?
I thought Bigfoot was Little Caesars.
Was that Little Caesar? Yeah, that's probably right. Big New Yorker. Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm trying to think. What's the other one? What's the other pizza? Stuffed crust is still there. I forget. That was a sweet. New Yorker has a sweet sauce to it. I remember that. I didn't like it that much. I'm not into the sweet sauce. I mean, it was okay, but I prefer not. I like it tangy.
Yes, he did. He helped with the Bigfoot pizza and the Big New Yorker.
And the Bigfoot was a Little Caesars?
The Bigfoot was Pizza Hut. What?
Oh, the foot long. That's what it was.
Yes, the foot long.
The foot long was,
that was
Pizza Hut.
Idea.
I mean Little Caesars. The Bigfoot pizza. Damn, I gotta look at that now.
You gotta look at the commercials, Dominic, from 1993.
Oh, there is a Bigfoot steak and hoagies. That's what came up on my thing.
Yeah, I got the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the
I don't know.
Bigfoot.
We've talked about it a million times. What does GameStop actually have? Like, what can they do to
I got nothing else than I said before, which I don't remember what I said. So we'll go back to the podcast when I said something.
You were telling me that they're going to start selling PC hardware. Do you think that'll actually help them out at all?
Maybe.
I mean, you can't get any PC hardware right now, so that's already a failed start right there.
Because they bought it all, so they can sell in their stores.
And maybe that's what it is. They're sitting on all the 3080s and 3070s right now. The sons of bitches. Yeah. It's going to be a rough time for them, I think. All right. In some other news, Dominic, people are extremely angry right now. I had sent you an article or a thing on Twitter about how the Game Pass version of Nier Automata is actually the best version on PC available today. And apparently once that launched, people realized how shitty the Steam one still is and started review bombing it on Steam because they haven't updated that one yet to work as well or be as optimized as the Game
I've
Pass
seen that.
version.
That is interesting. I mean, I hope it works out for them.
I mean, they should have been angry this whole time.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I feel.
But,
yeah. Cause that's why I didn't get it.
They should have been angry it wasn't get supported. Exactly.
Luckily I tried it out and it didn't run well and, sent it back. So,
yeah,
they should have. Yeah, exactly. And that's crazy that verse is not on Steam yet. Why didn't they just update it?
Exactly. Like how different are these architectures that the version you made for PC that's distributed through the Game Pass is not the same or can't be upgraded. The Steam version can't be upgraded to that one. It just doesn't. I don't know.
I think that's just Square. I mean, I think that's just them.
Yeah, we've already talked about their problems, haven't we? So, yeah. All right, in some other news, Dominic, Call of Duty is allegedly going to be returning to World War II again, according to reports from Eurogamer. It's currently referred to as Project Call of Duty World War II Vanguard. Is it time to go back to World War II again?
It was just 3 years ago.
Is there any other place we can go other than World War II?
I mean, you can stay current. There's always something to do, something to shoot. I'm just saying, what
Call of Duty prehistoric? Let's shoot some dinosaurs.
What can
That's all
you
I'm saying.
do in World War II?
Kill Hitler. They haven't let us do that in a Call of Duty game yet.
Well, because he didn't. He killed himself. But
that's true. It's revisionist history, though, Dominic.
Yeah, I guess.
Or like, conspiracy
that's Wolfenstein,
theories.
But that's Wolfenstein.
They want you to believe. Yeah, that's true. That is true. But that's why it's so good. Even though this latest one, they didn't really let you do.
But I just don't know what they could do to the World War II. What more you can do? I mean, you could just tell other stories, but how much more different is going to be?
Right.
I felt like that was good to go back a few years ago, but it's like,
it had been a while, but now it's like, granted, I don't, what did they do with World War II? Could they create a sequel to that? Like, are people wanting to get more out of that story, you know? I wonder.
I mean, like I said, it has to be something weird. It has to be some weird stuff happen that's not realistic. It has to be, but it's like,
that was kind of the cool thing with, I think, definitely Wolfenstein and also, Call of Duty. Not Call of Duty. Yes, Call of Duty. Cause Medal of Honor is the other one.
Yeah.
When they started doing like the secret weapons of World War II stuff, like very early on in the Call of Duty days, like I think it was one of like the second expansions for that original game or something. And it's like, oh, cool. We're doing something that, you know, people don't really know about. Also, it's maybe not completely historically accurate, but it is, you know, something. Stuff like that I think would be cool. But yeah,
I mean, cause this is all about boots on the ground. See, I can see if you focus on something else, but then that wouldn't be Call of Duty.
Right.
Because Call of Duty is all about boots on the ground.
Yeah.
You can't do whole bunch of plane missions or, I don't know. I mean, it's okay to have a little sniping, but you can't just be all snipe. I don't know what you can do, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's other fronts you can fight, man, but it's just like,
Yeah. At what point are we just kind of recycling the same ideas? So, gotta always have a Call of Duty out though, Dominic. So I guess we'll find out in the coming months. Another rumor going on right now, Dominic, is that Microsoft is interested in acquiring Discord. And the bid that's been thrown out there sounds like it's about $10 billion. I think I'm just too old. Actually, I don't think I've invested the time. I don't understand how Discord works. The little bit of time that we tried using it like years ago, I just never got a good understanding of what it is and how people interact with it. Like, are there text chat rooms in addition to just different voice channels, or what is that software?
Yeah, I still don't understand Discord either. Where's Discord for Dummies? Let me see here.
I mean, I could definitely see them I mean, as big as Discord seems like it is now for people that do understand it, it definitely seems like it would be a great addition to the Xbox, family and making that maybe the primary way to converse, get rid of party chat and just implement Discord. I could see that being an interest for Microsoft. Whether it's worth $10 billion or not, I don't know, because they already have that stuff. And on the non-gamer front, they have things like Microsoft Teams and Skype and everything else. So I don't really know how this really fits in their portfolio, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah. You can buy the book Discord for Dummies on Amazon for $21.09, or get the Kindle version for $15.
Okay, that's more of a deal.
All right. We need to get Podcasted for Dummies, the 4th edition.
I think we're already as dumb as we can be about podcasts. So. All right. Speaking of Microsoft, this is kind of a weird one, but they're rebranding Xbox Live as the Xbox Network. I saw actually an interesting comment. I want to say it was, I don't remember which website it was on now. But basically someone was saying that by calling it Xbox Live, it's like an add-on thing. Whereas by calling it the Xbox Network, it shows that they're treating it as more like a core competency of their business model.
Yeah, I understand why they're doing it, but I still
guess.
But I
think Xbox Live is pretty good though.
I think it's such a name. I mean, the name is there. I mean, it's always been there for
synonymous with the Xbox at this point.
It's like, why change that? I mean, I understand what you're trying to say.
I don't call it Xbox Online. I just call it Live.
Yeah, because Live,
I'm on the internet.
Because they say, Live is a subscription, while the network, you don't have to necessarily be on Live to be part of the network.
That makes sense.
But still, I mean, it's been around for so long now that I feel like, come on, might as well just keep it.
Yep. And we're still going to refer to it that way because we're going to forget.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call it PlayStation Live also, just to put the screws to it. Speaking of PlayStation Live, Dominic, there are rumors also out now that Sony is going to be shutting down the PS3, Vita, and PSP stores summer of this year. So if you want to get any of those games on those systems, maybe now's the time.
Now, can you re-download when they shut them down?
So that's going to be the question when they actually make this official, because we've seen in the instances of like a Nintendo where you just can't get to that stuff anymore. Whereas in previous things, usually you see that, you can't download it. I mean, you can't buy it new anymore, but you can still get access to the archive of the stuff that you had previously purchased. And I would hope for Sony's sake that they're going to allow you to do that, because I mean, that's that's most of what Microsoft's business is pointing out that, hey, you can play basically everything, even though, I mean, obviously there are limitations, there are backwards compatibility and what you can access on the store and whatnot, but it's really such a distinct thing, especially if Sony were to just say like, nope, you can't play the stuff anymore. That would really suck.
Yeah.
Especially for people with things like all digital, you know, PSPs, like the Go.
Oh yeah. Oh, for people, like, how about for those people who do those speed runs, and like, I'm sure that, I mean, maybe they just keep those games, but I think at some point, like, hey, I want to try this speed run. Like, you want to try it.
Consoles might break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, dude, but I don't know. That's the thing, is with them keep switching their infrastructure. That's the problem. It's like, y'all didn't make it a way so y'all can easily just transfer over, just to be able just to build upon it, what you had. That you had to just destroy it. Like, it has to be, oh no, we got a new one. And it's like, come on, man. And so you're giving credence to the people who say, this is why I'm all for having physical disc, because y'all do this. And I can't blame them for feeling that way when you do shit like this. And another problem with PlayStation, I want to remember before we move on. I know it's a problem with transfers to these newer games, like Xbox. If you got the Avengers, you got the Avengers game, you want to play the Avengers, the next gen version, you just play a next gen version. You put the disc in or the digital, and you got it, and all the saves are there. You have to transfer your saves on the PS4 to your PS5. I guess you do it through the cloud, but it's not that it's hard. It's just that you got to go through more stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, you literally have to have, like, if you're just now playing on a PS5 and you've been playing Avengers PS4 version on the PS5, you have to make sure that version is on your console and updated so that you can export your save and then open up the PS5 version and import the thing.
Yeah.
Which sounds like, at least last week, it really wasn't working very well. Whereas, you know, Microsoft with their smart delivery stuff, I mean, it really speaks to, when I see it, Microsoft being a software company at heart and kind of following that path, whereas Sony has always kind of been a hardware company. And you see that, you know, there's very distinct gaps between consoles with Sony, whereas Microsoft is tried to turn everything in the Xbox ecosystem into just that, an ecosystem where you can play old games and access the old shops. And obviously they took down the original Xbox Live at a certain point so they could migrate everything else over. But there's also a lot of those games now available that you can play through the new Xbox Live network. Like, you know, a lot of people would have been playing Halo still, right? But now there's a Master Chief Collection where you can play all those games online again. You know, so you aren't really losing as much.
Yeah. And technically you can still play the original Halo.
Yeah.
You just gotta have the disc and everything, but, I mean...
Yeah. Hook up your LAN party.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, man, that seems a little convoluted, like, for this day and age. It seemed like it should be an easier way. I mean, hopefully, hopefully it's a way they can just patch it in where it can just be better. I mean, eventually it's going to get to a point where you're not going to have a whole lot of PS4 games, of course.
Right.
But I'm just seeing that, like, why? Like, I was like, cause I was reading a tweet, somebody saying that. It said like, hey, this is what you have to do PS4. Xbox, you just put the game in. You just put the game in. And it's like, what? I said, I didn't know I didn't know that with the PS4. I didn't know that was like, you had to go through that. All right. So what else we got, man?
That's pretty much what I had for the news this week. Did you see anything else you want to talk about, Dominic?
Nah, I think I'm good. Let me just look real quick.
Sure. I'm looking at all these Pizza Hut Bigfoot advertisements. And the crazy little Caesar's pizza by the foot.
Yeah, pizza by the foot. Yeah, that's what it was.
It just seems so inconvenient to carry a fucking foot-long box of pizza, but it does look delicious.
There was another game in the Xbox Idea Xbox where
What's
you
that?
play as one of those doctors with those masks, those old doctors.
Oh, like a plague doctor?
Yeah.
With the
You
bird
know what?
face?
That's a thing in games now. The plague doctor.
Yes, it is.
It just shows so much now.
Because we've got a plague now, Dominic.
I gotta find where. Darn, I thought it was Game Informer. I saw the article, so I can easily find it.
It's also just a cool aesthetic, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Man, it was like a roguelike game, but like mixed with Tetris. You're looking at top down and you're on a platform. And the only way you can fight enemies is if you move the blocks and connect it to fight it. God. Here it is. Yeah, it is. Loot River, it's called.
Loot River, okay.
It's a roguelike game. And yeah, it's a top-down view. It has like that look of Dead Cells or some other games where it has that digital type of old look, like old video game look. But you do play it as a plague doctor, which I said like, that's a new trope now, huh? That's a new trope now in games. But you have to connect. Like you're on the platform, you have to connect the platform, and that's how it looks like that's how you attack to attack the enemies.
Is cool.
I don't see a release date or anything for it yet, though. But yeah, it was interesting. It looked really interesting.
Yeah, that's a novel concept. I wonder if you have direct control over the character in addition. Okay, it looks
like you do. Yeah, it looks like you do.
Yeah, that's really neat. That would be maybe not. I was gonna say that would be a cool thing to play on like the Switch, where you can move the blocks with the touchscreen, but then you'd be moving between the touchscreen and the controls, and that wouldn't be fun. So. But yeah, that's really neat looking.
All right, yeah, that's it. I think that's about it.
All right, we got new releases this week, Dominic. Overcooked All You Can Eat Edition is now out on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
Oh yeah, the buffet editions, because buffets don't exist, man. They don't exist anymore.
Not anymore. Pandemic killed that. We also got Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town now on the Switch. That is what came from the Harvest Moon series after that like split of IP from the actual developer. So that's the true Harvest Moon right there, Dominic.
Yeah.
We also got Tales of the Borderlands. That's now out on the Nintendo Switch.
Darn. I thought it already was. Yeah. Okay. I guess maybe it was coming and then that's when they went under and now since they're somewhat back.
Yep. We also got Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. That's now out on the PC and Xbox One. It's part of Game Pass. So you can check that out. I think that's the one with is that the latest one besides Like a Dragon?
Yes, that is the latest one.
Okay.
So that's really the
one I think
that's really the last one.
New Japan guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. The new proper. Yeah.
They went yeah. The
RPG
the proper,
style.
yeah.
Also out is Balan Wonderworld for the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Saw that was getting a little heat this week, Dominic, because apparently during the final boss battle, there is, images that may cause epileptic seizures. So that's not great. How are we still at a point where like these game developers don't know what to avoid? I feel like there should just be a book that says game development for dummies. And then one of the chapters is how not to make images that will cause people to have seizures.
I mean, maybe they needed us. I saw it though. It didn't need to be there.
Did you? Cause I was trying to look it up to see. I mean, like I was about to say, you don't have to that stuff.
I was about to say, are you sensitive? Cause,
Pokemon did not take me down. I can say that.
No video game has. And no movie has. So I just assumed that I don't. I watched Spider-Man and they said, be careful. Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I watched that scene where it was happening and it didn't need to be there. Like, it didn't feel like it was a need for it. I felt like it didn't have to be there. So I'm like, yeah, they could have avoided that. They could have avoided it.
Good times. Balan Wonderworld. Loving it. Also out now is Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time on the PC, Dominic. So you can check that out, maybe with some cheats and make that game a lot easier, because apparently it's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Also out is It Takes Two. That's on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One,
I heard some
and Xbox
pretty
Series
good
X.
things about it.
Yeah, it looks neat. I want to watch some more videos of that. I don't know that it's a game I'm ever going to end up playing, just like the Escape one, where you
got
to
just
do
give it to
teamwork
Gwen.
stuff.
Give Gwen another controller. She'll play with you.
She ends up eating them instead. So never works out for me. Kaze and the Wild Masks. That's out on the PC, PS4,
it's out.
Xbox One, and Stadia. Yep. So that is out now, Dominic. It's the one we talked about last summer during the Xbox thing.
So that and the Otter game is out.
Yep.
So those two are out.
Yep. And we also got Monster Hunter Rise for the Nintendo Switch. So if you're into Monster Hunter and we're looking for something more close to Monster Hunter World.
What is people saying about that?
I think it's been mostly positive from what I've heard.
Yeah, I got 87% on Metacritic.
Yeah.
I got an 8 out of 10 IGN. It ain't not as high as the other Monster Hunter World,
Yeah.
but I think it's still good. I feel like people who like Monster Hunter will enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then we got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 for the PS5 and Xbox Series X, Dominic. So you can play that in super high res graphical stylings if you got one of those consoles.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah. So that's all we got this week. You got anything else, Dominic?
Nope. I'm good.
Oh. Right. Thank you guys as always for listening. You check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStallworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at SupaPod, SupaPod. SupaPod.com is the website. You can check us out there. Has links to all the places you can find us, as well as links to the video version of the podcast, which takes you to YouTube. Check us out there. Has gameplay of the stuff we were talking about that week. Relevant video footage, as well as all the podcast places you can find us: iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify. I think that's all of them. Well, it's not all of them, but those are the major ones, because it's basically on everything. Podbean, if that's a thing that people still use. Until next week, guys. See you later.
All right, see you.